OMG.
Yeah.
We just did a webinar on Vesterr, and
Whew.
Davon told us that we had
The most participants she's ever had. Over 80 people joined in to hear our pitch about our hotel.
What? It's crazy.
On Vesterr. It's very exciting. It's very, very exciting. And we want to say thank you to everybody who came and took time out of their evening. I know Monday evening, but we are very, very excited about this project, and we are so excited to be able to share it and include people who, may not have been able to invest in this type of project otherwise. And that's what we love about the Vesterr platform. I'm so stoked.
So if you want to see the webinar, here it goes in 3, 2, 1.
All right. So good evening, everyone. Happy holidays. It's the holiday season. Can't believe it's about to be 2025. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Davon Rees. I'm the CEO and founder of Vesterr, which is a crowdfunding platform. And we're going to talk a little bit about Vesterr, so you know what it is. And then I'm going to pass the baton over to Bruce and Kamiko Burdines. Okay. All right. So what's crowdfunding for those who don't know what it is? Crowdfunding is pretty much the use of small amount of money coming together. So if all of us came together and invested in Bruce and Kamiko's deal, that's essentially what crowdfunding is. Coming together with a large number of people at a certain amount. So why Vesterr? So we're a crowdfunding platform, and our goal in our job is to connect deal funders and investors. So what's a funder? So basically that's our branded term of someone who raises capital or is a sponsor or an issuer on a deal. Of tonight's case, the Burdines will be considered, they are the funders for tonight. And what's an investor? An investor is someone who passively invests in the deal and the opportunity on our Vesterr crowdfunding platform. So what's Vesterr? Vesterr is again, we are a crowdfunding platform where we are designed specifically for commercial real estate, where you can invest or raise capital. Then also think of us as it's an alternative way to invest in. So what really sets us apart, or what sets Vesterr apart from the other crowdfunding platforms, is that we accept both accredited and non-accredited investors. So those who don't know what an accredited investor is, an accredited investor is someone who has an income of $200,000 or more, or has a net worth of $1 million or more, excluding their primary residence. And so both accredited and non-accredited investors can invest. A funder can raise up to $5 million per deal. And we are also a member of FINRA, which is stands for the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. So we're not just a website. I know people think, oh, it's just a website. No, we got to go through a lot of compliance. It's compliance all the time. And the compliance is to protect you as an investor. So how? So you can invest directly through the website, and through the Vesterr website, which we'll go through. And in ways to invest, you can go through savings, you can go through mutual fund, stocks, cash. These are just different ways that you can invest. The Vesterr investing process, so make sure you review the pitch deck information and conduct your due diligence along with the Form C, which is all on the website. Of course, you want to conduct your own due diligence, so consult with a financial advisor or consult with a CPA. I am not a financial advisor. Vesterr is not a financial advisor. Definitely want to put those risks out there. You definitely want to do your own due diligence. Anything that you invest in is subject to risk, or could potentially, lose money. So that's with anything that you invest in. And then you want to create an account to invest. So it's absolutely free to set up an account to invest. There's no charge for you to invest on Vesterr. If somebody say, hey, I found this deal on Vesterr for you, I'm gonna charge you $500. they're like a scam, because there's no, you can literally go to our website and you can invest directly through the website. There's no fee for you to create an account. Okay. And so then you want to, the next thing you want to do is complete the investor questionnaire. And that is that you'll do that when you're creating your account. So how to invest on Vesterr. All right. So you can use ACH, or you can do a wire transfer, or you can use your credit or debit card up to $5,000 per transaction or per investment. All right. So the fees, as I mentioned before, there are no fees to invest. As an investor on Vesterr, how Vesterr makes our fees, we take 5% of the total raise. So we get paid from the deal. So the team, that is myself. For those who don't know who I am, again, I'm Davon Reed, CEO and founder of Vesterr. Been in the industry for over 15 years. Started off as a front desk agent, co-owned 3 hotels across 2 different states. And now I've basically taken all of my experience and created this crowdfunding platform to connect the funders to investors and give folks an opportunity to invest. That's Anand over there. He's over our technology. So if you want to stay connected with us, we are on LinkedIn, we are on Facebook, and you can also feel free to send us an email. That is our website there. Before we pass the baton over to the Burdines, does anybody have any questions about Vesterr? No. Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and pass the baton over to the Burdines. Let me start.
Perfect. Just to let you guys know how to pronounce this, our hotel right now is called Gaea. It's going to be an international boutique hotel in Secret Beach, Belize. And we're so excited to bring you this deal, man. This is one of our passion projects here.
Yes. Okay. There we go.
All right. Yeah.
So a little bit about us. So we are married, hence the same last name. And we currently work as anesthesiologist assistants or anesthetists if you're from a state that doesn't have anesthesiologist assistants. And we do that by day, and literally every other second we are real estate investors. So we have currently a portfolio of short-term rentals in Florida and Tennessee. And we also have been limited partners in some hotel deals through the Vaughn Group and Davon's connections.
Yeah. We've been investing in Belize for the past 3 years. We own numerous parcels of land there, including our personal home. We like to think as ourselves as we specialize in the hospitality niche, and we're excited to bring this opportunity to you guys.
Right. So this is going to be our second round of raise for this hotel. We did a first round with only accredited investors in which we raised $3.5 million. And then in talking with Davon, we were like, we would really love to bring this to Vesterr to give the opportunity to non-accredited investors, because we really believe in creating generational wealth and expanding that within our community. And not everybody is going to be an accredited investor. So we created this CF to give everyone a chance. And the minimum investment that we're looking for is $2,500. And the maximum raise that we're going to do is $2 million.
Right. Guys, this is a rendering of the Gaea Hotel in Secret Beach in Belize. So it's going to be about, what, 6 stories?
6 stories, yes.
Here we go. And why owning equity in Gaea is different than other investments that you guys might have seen. Well, if you're investing in Gaea, you're investing with us, and you're going to actually be an owner. We have no near future plans about selling this hotel, so this deal is purely a cash flow deal. Who might not be an investor for Gaea?
Yeah, so if you're looking to invest and try and get your money back within, 1 year, 2 years, have a quick flip payoff, this is not going to be the deal for you. This is our passion project. It's our legacy build. And it's something that we want to pass on to our children, our first of which is coming in March. Yeah. And so this is a very much long-term hold, and we wanted to bring that to our investors as well and bring cash flow both to you and, your descendants and your family and the people who will inherit your units from you.
Yeah, with this equity, you're able to transfer this to your family members, to your children, and they can inherit the cash flow that this hotel generates from years and years and generations and generations.
Yeah. As long as the property's cash flowing, so are you.
Yeah.
All right. Next. All right. So a little bit about Belize. So if you don't know where it is, it's in Central America. It is just south of Mexico. So if you know where Cancun is, Tulum is, if you go directly south, you're going to run into Belize, and you will literally run into the island of Ambergris Caye.
Which is in that little red circle.
Yep. So right there. And then Ambergris Caye is where we are building the Gaea Hotel. And it's going to be in the Secret Beach area, which is this red dot, this red star over here on the west side,
West side.
of the island. I always get my east and west mixed up.
Guys, the reason a lot of people visit Ambergris Caye is along this stretch right here is the longest living barrier reef. Everybody comes here to dive and enjoy the crystal blue Caribbean waters. The only downside to this is if you've ever been to the Caribbean is that we get sargassum
Yeah,
on
it's
this
those
east coast.
floating seaweed patches that come in from the open ocean, and then they wash up on the beach and they get really smelly when they start to rot. It
Smells like
back-
sulfur.
Yeah, it smells awful. So the great thing about building on the west side of the island is you do not have that issue with the sargassum, and you also don't have issues with the waves.
Or tides, or things that are, what is it called? Riptides.
Yes.
You don't have an issue with that. These are really calm, crystal blue waters that you can wade in all the way up like 200, 300 feet, and only gets up to about 3 or 4 feet high.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And you can see clear to the bottom. I think a couple of people that are on here went on an investor trip with
I've
us
seen it.
and have been in the water, and it's the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen.
Guys, if you're on here and you've been and you went with us on that trip, just let them know how beautiful it is here. All right. Why we chose Belize for everybody who hasn't been with us on these investor trips.
Real quick, I can see some of you guys commenting in the chats, and we will get to all of the questions at the end. So keep them coming. You can post them, and we'll go through and read them at the end. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that.
Perfect. Guys, we chose Belize because it literally is the only Central American country that the official language is English. So all the contracts are in English, all the laws are British common law things. So you will own land in perpetuity forever. Tourism is also booming. It's the second largest income, which is the second largest income producing segment in Belize.
Mm-hmm. And it also is the fastest growing Caribbean destination. So from 2023 to 2024, it grew by 30%, which is more than any other major Caribbean country.
Yeah.
So it's
People
pretty
are finding out about Belize.
Yeah.
Like I just like we met somebody at the hospital who's like, man, we just heard about Belize. Can you tell me more about it? In fact, one of our nursing managers is thinking about retiring into Belize after she heard us talk about it. In Belize, there's no capital gains tax. Super, super, super low property taxes. We're talking like $200 a year.
Yeah, unheard of. The market, especially in Ambergris Caye, is not very saturated just yet. So it's like getting in on the ground floor of Tulum and Cancun the way they were, 30, 40 years ago. And, it's prime for an opportunity to put a beautiful hotel there. And then the land values are exponentially increasing. Even from when we first purchased a couple years ago, the land values have started to double and triple, which part of was COVID effect, but part of it is just that it's a beautiful place and it's an amazing place to invest.
Well, on the island, land is limited, right? Yeah. Land is limited. There's only so much beachfront. When I first started looking at Belize around 3 years ago, I saw beachfront for sale for like $250,000, $300,000. A year later, I saw it selling for $450,000, and then a year later, I saw it selling for $550,000. And the latest thing that I just saw, like this past month, is the same parcel that I saw for like $350,000 is now selling for $750,000,
and has offers, like no issues selling. The other great thing about Ambergris Caye is that major hotel brands have already sort of done feasibility studies there and have put down major routes. So Margaritaville opened last year and is thriving. IHG is putting a Six Senses. They bought a portion of Ambergris Caye and also a private island. Marriott is already there.
They have two hotels,
one functioning, one under construction. And then there's also a Hilton there as well. And then Four Seasons is also purchased its own private island very close to Ambergris Caye. So we know that it's an up and coming major market that is really going to be amazing in the future.
And this is the ground floor. And we're trying to get everybody in on this ground floor with us. What's going to be unique about Gaea? This is Kamiko's thing.
Yeah. Okay. So, like we said, Gaia is our passion project. And we love to travel. We love to experience new places. And we felt that if we were going to invest in a place, we didn't want to just drop any old cookie cutter, piece of property there.
We didn't want a big rectangle box.
Yeah, we really wanted to make sure that we were honoring the place that we're going to. So the whole premise behind Gaia's architecture is to pay homage to the Mayan culture that has been there for centuries. So the exterior structure pays homage to the Mayan temples that you can see, dotted around Belize and Mexico. And then each floor represents the 4 elements of nature that were revered by Mayan culture. So earth, water, fire, and air. And then the other thing that we wanted to do with Gaea is to make every time you come back to be a different experience. So each of the 20 rooms will have a unique aspect of one of the 4 elements, depending on what floor it's on.
A unique floor plan.
And unique floor plan, so that every time that a guest comes back, it's a different stay. They're like, oh, I was in this water suite, I'm going to stay in this different one. It'll be the tallest structure in Secret Beach since we're going 6 floors high, and it'll have unparalleled views of the crystal blue Caribbean waters on the west side of the island. And you'll have like amazing sunset views from the rooftop restaurant, which that is floor number 6. And what we really wanted to make this feel like is that the price you pay is worth it through our customer service. So, I don't know if anybody's ever seen down below, like the luxury below deck, below, below deck, where, you hire a yacht charter, and you send in a profile ahead of time. They know what you like, what your needs, what you want to do while you're on that's kind of what we wanted to bring to Gaea, and to bring that experience so that your vacation really starts from the time that you book.
So when you book with Gaea, guys, we're going to ask for basically an application with your picture. Our staff is going to know your name before you arrive. We're going to know your wants, your needs, your excursions. Everything will be taken care of for you before you even arrive.
Yeah. And if there's anything like special, you want to plan a proposal, like all of that, our concierge team would make sure that everything runs smoothly, and to make sure that when you're on vacation, you really have absolutely nothing to worry about. The other thing that we were going to provide is butlers and concierge service for all the guests 24/7. So the top 4 suites, the air suites, are going to be the most luxurious and the biggest ones. They will have a private butler for each room. And then the other 3 floors will have a butler per floor. So say you need extra shampoo, or you run out of mosquito repellent, or,
you want a 2:00 dinner, you want anything.
Yeah.
These butlers and concierges will handle it for you.
Yes, and will be completely available to the guests. It will have the only elevated pools in Secret Beach. So right now in Secret Beach, you're going to have a lot of privately owned Airbnbs. There's currently only one resort, not really resort. It's
a large Airbnb. It's
Yeah.
got 4 casitas on it,
Mhm.
and they have one main area. So they kind of run it like a boutique hotel, but it's only got 4 rooms.
Yeah. And they're a little bit further north. Our location is prime. It's literally right on the main road. You cannot miss it when you're coming into Secret Beach. It's right across from the 2 most popular beach bars. And but everything else in Secret Beach, you don't have this option for luxury. You don't have an option for a true hotel stay. And so that's where we feel like we can fill this sort of niche in the Secret Beach area. It will also be the only rooftop restaurant in Secret Beach, where you'll be able to get those amazing sunset views while you enjoy a luxury dinner.
Yeah, guys, I kind of want to equate the location kind of like the Strip, like in Las Vegas, right? There's only one road straight into Secret Beach to get to the beach, and you literally have to pass Gaea to get to all the main attractions on this beach.
Yeah.
So we really think it's going to be like, hey, once you reach Gaea, make a right,
Yeah.
make a left. This is where, once you see it, that's when you know you're at Secret Beach.
Mhm.
Um, To get to the hotel, you can do two things. You can ride a golf cart all the way to
Yes.
the hotel, or you could take it by boat. And with Gaia, we're going to provide two shuttles for you, where our drivers will pick you up from the airport and drive you all the way, so you don't have to worry about how to find it,
Yeah.
about the roads, directions. Or you could take our boat straight from the airport all the way to Secret Beach.
Yep. And arrive by water. Um, And then we'll have additional amenities. So we've designed the rooftop restaurant to double as a wedding venue. We also have the indoor option of the conference room that can double as a reception area. We'll have the largest and only gym on Secret Beach.
We'll have largest spa.
Largest spa as well. Right now you can get massages on the beach or on one of the piers, but that's really it. Those are the only options. The reception area can also double as a conference room for any sort of business events. So if people come and they need to have meetings, we'll have that option space for that. We also have commercial areas on the bottom floor, so we'll be able to have retail income as well. And then we also are going to be partnering with some of the other resort builders, so there'll be access to private beaches down the line.
All right. So I know this is the screen that everybody wants to talk about. It's the projections, right? And I wanted to reiterate that these are just estimates, and they're not used for binding or anything promissory, right? This is what we believe based on the recent like ADRs that we've done research on. But I also want to give you the numbers of the build costs. And just in case you guys did not know, this is a ground
up
build.
Yeah, it's a completely ground up development, if we didn't say that before. So the cost of acquiring the land from us was $1 million, $1,065,000. The estimated hard construction cost is going to be 9.6 million. And then the soft cost total from years 1 to 3, which is what we're anticipating for build time, is going to be 2.1, and that will cover like furniture, marketing,
Staff training,
overhead, all of that kind of stuff. So the total cost input is going to be just under 13 million.
The guys let you know, because it is a ground up build, the very first 3 years is a hold period. There's no projected returns at that time. We are literally building from the ground up, putting in concrete pillars. We're digging a well. We're doing all this in the first 3 years. So it'd probably take about 2 years to actually complete the build, and then 1 year to get the BTB hotel license.
Yep. And
Because you can't apply for that until the building is built.
Yeah, BTB stands for Belize Tourism Board. So once the construction is complete, then you can apply for your hotel and liquor licenses, and that takes about 6 months to a year.
So that's the reason we say a total of 3 years for a hold. After the 3-year hold, the stabilization period is between years 3 and 5. So another 2 years before we totally get fully stabilized in our financials. So if things go very well, we could possibly have return for investors between years 3 and 5. But we do know post year 5, we are projected to give returns to all investors.
So the shares for the CF is going to be 2,500 for one share, and there's 600 shares available. The projected gross revenue for year 5 would be about 2.7 million, minus expenses of about 900,000, which would leave a net income of 2 million. So based on those estimated returns, each crowdfunding share would be a return of 18.4%. Projected. And then we would anticipate that to increase year after year.
And these are really conservative numbers, but that is based on the year 5 that we believe that we can return investment to the investors. We do believe that it's going to be around 18%.
Yeah, and that is a pretty average number for the Caribbean. The average rate of return for a lot of Caribbean hotels is going to be between 10 and 25%, and that has been that way for the past decade. That's been about the average. And then we also wanted to give our Vesterr investors a little bit of incentive. So for the first 20 investors in each of the tiers who invest by January 16th, that's MLK Day, You will be invited as VIP guests to Investor Retreat at the hotel during the soft opening. So you can be one of the first guests to experience your new hotel. All right. So the first tier is going to be
For tier one, it's going to be you're going to have a $20,000 investment. With that, you get a 5-night stay in the luxurious air suites with the private butler. You're going to have the best views of Secret Beach. The walls are literally ceiling to floor glass.
Mm-hmm. And you can kind of see that up here. So you'll be right below the restaurant, soundproofed, of course, and just have amazing balcony views.
Yeah, these are the largest suites that we have at the hotel.
Yep. And then tier 2 is going to be a minimum of $10,000 investment. So you would get a 5-night stay in either one of the swim out water suites, which are going to be on this water level here. You'll have access to the adult only moon pool. It'll be right on your floor. You don't have to go anywhere. And then, or you can be in one of the earth suites,
which is down here.
And those have a private garden terrace right outside of your room. And then you'll have direct access to our sun pool,
which is right here. But I don't know if you can see this, but each water suite has its own swim out pool on the second floor here.
Yeah, it's a little bit hidden by our palm trees, but all right. And then the last tier.
But guys, I really really want to iterate that this is only until January 16th,
Yes.
right? All right. So our last tier is a $5,000 investment, and you still get a 5-night stay, and you'll be in one of our fire suites, which is located on the 4th floor, and with beautiful views.
All right, and you'll have direct access to the community fire pit area. We plan on being able to do like s'mores and story nights and all that kind of stuff on this sort of community fire pit area just above the pool. All right. All right, so now we move on to Q&A. Let me open this chat. Will the restaurant be open 24/7? Nope. Plans to do that. It will be open for breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Yeah. Is there a private beach or is it public? All beaches in Belize are public beaches. Right. Shuttle is awesome. How long is the drive to the airport from Gaea? Well, from the airport, if you take a golf cart, it's around 40 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes. It's a little bit shorter now because they've paved the roads.
They have paved the roads. It's a little faster. But when I say 40 minutes, we're talking about in a golf cart, right?
Yeah.
We're not talking about in a car that's going 55 miles per hour. We're talking about a golf cart that's going like 20 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it takes you a little bit longer. By boat, it takes you 15 minutes.
Yes.
As soon as you get out of Tropic Air, you come right over here. And this is where we're going to get golf carts from.
Based on the projections, is the property just under option right now?
Tuan, can you give us an explanation of that question?
Yeah, so here in different states, like you can put a property under option with putting down like a little bit of money and trying to raise the capital that you need to actually acquire the land first before you go and do, the rest of your due diligence and all of that. So I didn't know if it was similar to that, if you just had it under option or if you actually own the land now that you're going to build on.
Great question. We actually own the land.
Okay.
So we own the land, and that land, like that's the land that we were planning on doing a little bed and breakfast on.
Yeah,
and
originally,
and the land next to it became available, so we bought that land. So therefore, our plans changed, and the hotel got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Okay.
How long do we have to invest? So I believe the CF is available until May, but remember the incentive is only available until January 16th.
You currently have real estate holdings in Belize? Yes.
Yes.
We do. We have
a lot.
On the hotel operations side, is that outsourced to a third party or a direct line? We do hire a management company for the hotel operations.
Yes. But we'll be directly involved. When we say our personal property, like that is where we plan to retire. We can't really, this is our retirement project.
Right.
So we will be on site almost every day. So although there will be a management company, we will be there probably hands-on too much.
So based on the shares, you need 1.5 million now to get started. Yeah, so we need 1.5 million to get to the 5 million. Then the rest of the 5 million to 6 million will be debt.
Yes. Will we get a lifetime discount to use that hotel?
Great question. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe you like, but you could definitely use your returns and put it back into the hotel and get a discount on the room. If we did that, how much discount would you want?
Oh, I don't know, 10% discount every time I come. I might have to get some property near you, so we'll see.
I like it. I definitely let me think about that. Let me go back to our financial people and see if that is feasible.
Yeah. I mean, we would love
Sounds
to
good.
because
Let me
honestly,
star that. I like that. I like that question.
So like our ideal investor, we really want you to feel like you're basically joining our family on this project. This is, like we said, this is not something that we plan on selling. We plan on passing it down generation to generation. And so we wouldn't treat you any differently than we would treat our moms or our aunties or, any family that was coming into this.
Yeah, I know that sometimes like when you invest in like limited partnerships, like they're just doing a debt raise, and they're like, "Hey, give us the money. We're gonna promise you like this amount of percent
In like
and then
5 years,
5 to 7 years,
and then we're gonna sell it.
we're gonna sell it and we're done." Or we'll pay you back and we're
And
through
that's
with it, and you have to go to the next investment. We plan on this being a long term cash flow play for you guys.
yeah. Are there any other known hotels coming to Secret Beach in the next 5 years? So the only one that we know of that is going directly into the Secret Beach area is Six Senses with IHG. And they have a small portion that's on the northern side of Secret Beach. It's about, I want to say 3/4 of a mile north of the main road into Secret Beach. And then they've purchased a private island that's about like 3 miles out. And so they'll have overwater bungalows, and then the main portion will be some villas, but it'll be like the stopping off point for people to fly in and out.
Yeah, and I get that. I don't know if you're worried about direct competition, but Secret Beach with Six Senses, right? Their average nightly rate is the lowest nightly rate
Is
is $2,500 a night.
Yeah. So they're an all-inclusive, very expensive stay. So
We would not, if you're interested in doing that, there probably wouldn't be a good fit to be staying at Gaea. So we're not charging $2,500 a night.
yeah, our nightly rates are ranging anywhere between 300 to 1,200 for the larger suites.
Yes.
All right, compliments on a night. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we've worked really, really hard on that, and just wanted to make sure that it was the right fit for the right place. What are you basing your projections on? So we're basing it on occupancy rates, conservative between 25 and 60%, and then average ADRs between $300 and $800 a night, depending on the season.
Right, which is on the low side. Is this your first hotel venture as far as GP, as general partners? Yes.
Is the shareholder an equity partner only and not debt? Yes, it's equity only. The debt raised for the remaining construction and soft costs would be separate from that. Is the shuttle going to run 24 hours? So the shuttle will be based on the arrival times to the airport.
Because you guys remember that when you book with Gaea, you're going to put in an application. We're going to get your flight times. We'll know when you're going to arrive. That shuttle or whatever is going to be waiting for you. We're going to know your name. We're going to pick you up. You're going to feel like a VIP when you arrive. So there's no need to run it 24/7. Once you're at Gaea, we will have golf carts and transportation for you to get around the island.
Yeah, if you so choose. If you want to just stay on the Secret Beach side,
you can do that.
You can just do that. Everything is pretty much walkable at Secret Beach if you really wanted to.
Yes.
Do you have contingencies to address potential discoveries in an archaeological survey? So yes, so we do have some contingencies, but the great thing about the island is that it's basically all limestone. It's all limestone and then bedrock directly beneath the limestone. So it's just about how deep do you have to dig?
We're talking about like literally from the surface, maybe even down to like A foot and a half is limestone. Like, so if you have dirt, maybe a foot and a half down is limestone, or you can see the limestone from the surface. There's really not going to be digging to find remaining bones,
Yeah.
burial grounds, or anything like
Yeah.
that. You wouldn't see that. You would already see it.
Are either of us Belizean? No, but maybe in the future. Soon.
Yeah.
Soon in the future.
Do you own the property, or are there any liens? No, we own the property outright.
Mm-hmm. When do you plan to start building and the time frame? So plan to break ground would be early next year. We have to get the permits back from the Belizean government, and that takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, we sent in our plans. Everything is being approved right now. We're going to finish the raise. We've already got the contractor lined up. Our architects are, already have the plans built with engineering. We're ready to go.
Mm-hmm. And then build time frame, we're looking at about 2 years.
I would say at the most. We have some innovative construction techniques that our architect is talking about with the engineers. We really think we can get this done in 18 months.
Does the incentive go down to the minimum amount? So our lowest incentive is $5,000. Am I clear? $20,000 now for a total 18% return in 5 years. So a starting return of 18% in
year 5.
In year 5, and then continued 18% or higher returns after year 5 projected.
Because that 18% is on the lows. I mean, we're projecting low numbers. We're talking about 25, 30% occupancy.
Right. What are your plans to return profits to the investor over time? So the time period is in perpetuity.
So you got to remember the 3-year hold for us to build, right? And for us to get the BTB license to
operate.
Because we can't charge until then. We expect 2 years for stabilization, right? And then after that, 5 years, year 5, we plan on giving returns back, if not sooner, but year 5 for sure. And then in perpetuity.
In perpetuity.
Because we don't plan on selling this. We're not doing this to raise the price and then sell it for 20 million and then return everything. We're really holding this for long term.
Yeah. Projected returns ambition. So that question was asked earlier. Answered that one. What has been your experience with the local politics and the Belize Tourism Board, main areas, sources of risk to the build timeline and investor returns? So our experience with the local politics and the BTB have been nothing but positive. We've actually consulted with them before we even started with the planning phase, and to make sure that this hotel will be feasible. Every time we've mentioned, what we were planning on doing, they were like, we love it. Like, that area really needs something like that. The main areas and sources of risk for build timeline is just going to be sourcing material. And sometimes there's delays with that because a lot of stuff has to be barged in. But I feel like that's probably the main thing.
Everybody's got to remember this island time, right? Like, it's Belize. Like, if we sit here and try to pressure, it's not like the States. We can't be like, hey man, it's been, 6 weeks. Where's my license? If you do that, it just takes forever. They're just going to put you at the bottom of the list. It's going to take longer and longer. But we do have really, really great contacts with the BTB.
All right. When is opening time? So we're planning soft opening end of year 3.
Yes.
Yeah. Will you host another trip for interested investors as you did earlier the year?
Speaking of that.
Yeah, we can.
In June.
July.
Lobster Fest.
Lobster Fest. We can't do any sooner because, like I said, we're expecting our first little baby boy, in March. So the earliest we could travel and host people down in Belize would be July around Lobster Fest. Just letting you know, that's the rainy season. There are mosquitoes. So if you are not a bug person, or if you still really want to come, bring lots and lots of bug spray.
What is your return on ROI? Okay. Well, what are your funds tied up?
ROI, we're planning it projected 18%. And yes, there is a hold of at least 3 years.
Yeah.
Potential returns between years 3 and 5. And then
most definitely in year 5.
Yeah, after year 5.
That's why I said this investment might not be for everyone, right? Like, if you need that money back in the first 3 years, this is not the investment for you.
Are you planning on building hurricane? Yes. So the construction material is going to be steel and concrete. So it will be all hurricane proof.
The good thing about this also is that you remember we're on the west side of Ambergris Caye, and as hurricanes come in from the east side, I would say 99% of the time, once they go over the barrier reef, they tend to die down. Then it's got to cross the island just to get to us a little bit. And so by the time it could potentially hit the hotel, it should
Mhm.
die down a little bit.
I mean, even this year when Helene passed, there was another one that basically hit the Yucatan Peninsula. All the people and the expats that we know that were down there and they were like chatting in the WhatsApp group, they were like, oh, it wasn't too bad. It's a lot of rain, a lot
Just
of
a lot of
wind.
rain.
And they were like, we were all good. So, I mean, it's the other great thing about Belize is where it's positioned. It very, very rarely gets hit by a hurricane. I think the
Directly.
last one was in like 1910, 1914 or something like that. And then any storms that do come through, they're usually tropical storm or lower. When and how long is non-peak season, and what's the plan to make profits during that time?
So the seasons for peak seasons goes from December
and end of November to early May, and then
April, May.
Yeah,
Like it just depends, right? Like so she says November, I say December. December is really high season, but I guess right after Thanksgiving, that's when they call it the high season, and it goes until about April, May.
And
then we have the rainy season.
The rainy season is the rest of the year, so it's going to be May to November is the low season. The tourism board has actually done a lot of projects to sort of remedy the fact that it's the low season and create events to
Like Lobster Fest.
Like Lobster Fest in July is when they have tons of lobster and people go lobster diving and they have like lobster crawls. So they've done a lot to
increase tourism
during
the low season.
During the low season.
Low season, it gets down to about 40% occupancy. In the high season, we're in the low 90s.
Ambergris. Okay, so Ambergris Caye is the island. So it says, how high is Secret Island above sea level? It is sea level.
100% sea level.
It's sea level. The most of the island is mangrove and limestone, like we said. So it's a very flat island. So you're at sea level. The way we've designed the hotel, it is built up 4 or 5 feet off the ground. So if there was some sort of storm surge, we have a little bit of buffer area there, and that's part of the design and the building regulations there.
So I don't know. Can you show them?
Can I?
Hit share and share their pictures. Just go back to share. This right here, even though this is the lobby, this is all like all the amenities. The rooms don't get affected until you're up here. Right?
Yep. And you can see where the stairs are, that little diagonal piece.
This is about 4 feet.
Yeah.
Off the ground. So this is why we're protected from surges and sea level.
Okay, how do we get documentation on this venture? What are the next steps if you'd like to invest? So everything is on Vesterr.
Everything.
And then you can invest directly through Vesterr. Yeah, Lobster Fest. Lots of bug spray. Lots of Skin So Soft. Yeah, we've developed our own little like lotion formula concoction that we found works really, really well down there.
If you're one of the first 20 investors, I'll give you that recipe.
How long have you lived in Belize, and have you been in Ambergris Caye? So we actually don't live in Belize right now. We are in Atlanta as well. We travel for work. We are anesthetists, so we take contracts around the United States at hospitals that have need. But we are planning to retire to Belize. We visited there, absolutely loved it. Obviously, loved it enough to invest a whole lot of time and money into it. Absolutely love the people, and yeah. So eventually we will be Belizean. Yeah.
That's why I said we definitely bought our personal residence there. Do you have any security concerns in the area construction period? So security concerns, no, but we will have full-time security on the property.
Yeah.
That's built into the soft cost.
Yeah. The people of Belize are amazing. Nice. Such amazing people. And even the expats that come and live there, amazing people. I don't think I've been to a place where I felt safer.
Yeah. So. I mean, no place is crime free, right? It's just all relative to what you're
used to, I guess.
You're used to.
Will there be a follow-up to this meeting follow up how?
Like
Do you have
another webinar? Probably not. Because
Okay,
we
I think this was my first meeting, and I didn't know if you guys do this up until I guess you said May, until you get your funding, or if there will be a follow up.
Yeah, I mean, if we
there might be another one.
Yeah.
Like we really just wanted to bring this one to you guys early when we first did the CF, when we bring it to all the Vesterr members. Um, like I said, like if we don't happen to meet the 1.5, the build will still go on.
Yeah.
We do the 1.5 just because we believe in Vesterr
Yeah.
and we want to share the wealth.
Yeah, Tanya. Okay, so I saw you joined a little bit late. This whole thing is recorded and it will be posted on the Vesterr site, so you can go back and watch any of the information that you might have missed. Who is your target guest? So our target guest is going to be
Great question.
yeah, it's actually a really good question.
Mhm.
Our target guest is going to be like the Gen Z or the Gen X's, the people that are coming up and coming into the workplace or about to exit the workplace, that really have the money to spend and want to spend that money on exclusive experiences and want to travel and experience the world.
This is not for the backpacker, the hostel, the ones who are looking for bargain prices.
Mhm.
This is a little bit mid tier. That's what I consider mid to high tier. There are hotels out there that are going to be lesser in nightly rate, but they will not have the amenities and the customer service that we're going to have.
Yeah. After year 5, can shareholders sell their absolutely. So we are putting in a first right of refusal for selling your shares, but if we do refuse to buy them, then you are more than welcome to sell them to family members, sell them on the free market. You are absolutely allowed to sell your shares.
Yes.
What is the minimum investment for the CF? $2,500. And have you met Shine? I don't know who that is. No, we have not met Shine.
Love to meet Shine.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for educating me. I'm a musical theater nerd, so that's what I listen to in the car.
Have you seen Wicked? It's really good. What is it? What's the last one? Is that it?
There's one more in here. Oh, this may be in the deck, but do you have a full marketing strategy in place? So, part of the marketing strategy is obviously going to be a lot of social media because we're targeting that Gen Z to Gen X millennial market. We actually have some really good connections with some travel bloggers, travel influencers, who would have come and stay during the soft opening, get some promotional videos out there. But I think
the BTB is also going to help us market
yes.
The hotel.
And I think honestly, word of mouth is, probably the best thing that anybody can say about a place.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you mentioned this, but what kind of excursions are nearby? Okay, so is an island, so a lot of island activities. There's going to be a lot of snorkeling directly on the Secret Beach. They have an overwater, a floating water park. You can also rent jet skis, kayaks, the little floating inner tubes with the umbrella.
They have sunset cruises. They have day cruises over to the mainland. You can go back to San Pedro. There's definitely there's scuba diving, snorkeling. You can go to Hol Chan and swim with the nurse sharks.
Hol Chan is the marine reserve. So it's basically a national park of the water that protects the barrier reef. So they make sure that not too many boats, not too many tourists go in. They make sure that no damage comes to their natural resources. So Hol Chan Reserve is the national park, just so you know what that is. You can also do excursions for deep sea fishing. We did that with my dad for his birthday. That was super fun. They also have snorkeling on the reef, scuba diving on the reef, and then they're actually really well known for fly fishing too. They have competitions every year.
And guys, if you are there long enough, you do not have to stay on the island. You can go to the mainland of Belize, where they have cave tubing, zip lining, horseback riding. They have the ruins, the Mayan temples.
The Mayan temples. It's also about a quick 30-minute boat ride over to Caye, which is a little bit of a smaller island. And they have some really great restaurants and swimming and
You can feed the tarpons.
feeding tarpons over there.
Stingrays.
Oh yeah, stingrays. That's really cool too. Are you going to have a membership option for guests? Most likely. Yes.
I'm not sure if y'all discussed this already, but it'd be any
charity channels directed to helping Belizeans. So we've actually already been contacted by, there is a new technical school that's going to be coming up, and they are interested in placing some of their top tier students as working interns as part of the hospitality industry, all the way from housekeeping and electrical and building maintenance all the way up to
working in our restaurant,
to working in the restaurant, chefs and sous chefs, and also like butlery service and concierge service. So absolutely. One of the great things about Belize is that when you start a business there, you are required to have at least 60% Belizean citizens as your employees. You can't just bring in, a whole bunch of like Mexican workers or, people from the States or whoever. Like you have to employ the locals, which I think is fantastic.
All right.
I visited Belize a few years back and had to shut the door to the hopper plane to get to Ambergris. Are there any plans by the government to invest in expansion?
Rumors. There is. I've heard it more and more recently about them doing a bigger and larger airport up north on Ambergris Caye that will allow larger airplanes to come in. So yes. I think the answer is yes.
But I think the little hopper plane is part of the experience. I think it's great.
All right. In fact, if you've been with us for a little while, you know that we have 10 acres up north near this new airport that's coming.
Yeah. Have you identified a management company, and do they have experience managing independent hotels or local businesses?
Yes, and yes. Yes, we do have a local management company that we've been talking to. Yeah, and we have already been contacted with them. Anka is our architectural firm. Alejandro is our construction foreman who's going to be building. All these people have ties to Belize. And what else? $5,000 investment would
that be 2 shares? Yes, that would be 2 shares. And could it be per couple? So yeah,
however you want to do it.
So yeah, if you invest $5,000 as a couple or $5,000 as an individual, the incentive would include a guest.
One guest.
Yeah. If you have a long question, you could just unmute yourself
and just ask it.
Yeah.
You don't have to type it.
The plumbing at the first hotel I stayed did not allow for tissue. That is something that's common throughout Central America. And a lot of times it's old septic systems that don't allow that. We would definitely go with higher end, better septic that would allow you to flush your toilet paper.
I also think that you might have been staying in San Pedro where the plumbing and the pipes are 3 inches instead of 4 and 4.5. So tissue paper doesn't actually flow very well there. With a good septic tank, you can flush tissue.
Yes. So if you've already invested in the land and hotel, can we add another $5K? Absolutely.
Yes, you can. Would you mind going over incentives everyone keeps referencing? Yes.
All right. So this is going to be for the first 20 investors in each tier who invest by January 16th. That is MLK Day. So a minimum of $20,000 investment would get you a 5-night stay in one of our air suites on the top floor, right over here. A minimum of $10,000 investment, which gets you a stay in either one of the water suites or the earth suites, which have amazing outdoor amenities. And then a minimum of $5K investment would get you a 5-night stay in one of our fire suites.
Is there a limit to how much you can invest? No. There's no limit.
I mean, if you want to give us $2 million, by all means. Have you considered making a portion of the resort timeshare / vacation rentals? So I hate timeshares. I hate the pushiness. I hate the meetings that you have to attend, and then you got to keep telling people no. I really don't want that experience for our guests. So I would say no to timeshare vacation rental. No.
Guys, click the link read everything, take your time, do your due diligence. Just remember January 16th for the incentives. Please come down for our investor retreat. Let us treat you like the VIP guest that you are. So you could be one of the first people to stay in our beautiful hotel.
Yeah. And that'll be during the soft opening. We can do a soft opening without charging anybody anything before we get the BTB license. So you'll be able to tell us the kinks, what you like, what you don't like, and we can get everything worked out before we have our, our first paid guest.
Yep.
Yep. So thank you again. Thank you all so much. Put the link in the chat for those who want to learn more about the deal. Read any paperwork or offering documents regarding the due diligence, as well as the same link, which will have the replay and the same link that you can use to actually invest in the deal. So we appreciate you. Again, thank you. And thank you to the Burdines. You all have a wonderful evening and happy holidays.
Happy
Yes.
holidays.
We're so excited. See you guys.